Konami Studios. Homesick Pilots, issue number 5. I enjoyed this issue a lot. I was kind of thinking, am I going to continue reading Homesick Pilots? I've liked the book consistently. The artwork is great. The story's kind of fun. But there's just so much stuff out there. I'm like, should I might need to drop a book. Is it going to be Homesick Pilots? Well, this issue proved to me it's probably not going to be Homesick Pilots. They set up a really cool arc in the next run. And I'm just thinking, cool. We got a trade of this coming out next month. Cool. Good book. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. And this issue, probably my favorite of the ones we've saw so far, aside from issue 1. It was very well done. So Amy's just running through the house. She's trying to figure out how she is going to control everything, because everything's kind of shattering down. We know that there's people after her now, some weird TV Teletubby people. Not looking cool. We cut to Rip, who is still high out of his mind, and he's walking through, just like an underpass somewhere, like a skate park or something. He's clearly not okay, and he's freaking out, so everyone around him's like, dude, just go home. You're so high, you can't even walk straight, dude. Just get out of here. So he sees, like, a crowd of people standing over something, and he comes over to see what it is, and he looks down, and he sees that it's Meg, one of the band members of the Nuclear Bastards, who we all saw get killed in the first issue. She's okay. She's covered in blood, in, like, a red fluorescent color, and it's cool because it's showing like the difference between everything. We saw that Amy is like painted in like this white aesthetic, and now Meg's here in like this red energy. It looks very cool. So Rip helps her up, but the police show up, and of course it's the police officer that Rip's having some history with. So they run away, and those Teletubby guys show up, and they just like, hey, why don't you come on in? We need to get out of here anyways, so if you need a lift, come on in. So they get inside. Of course, Meg's delirious, and Rip's like high, so they don't know any better. He sees that Buzz is in there, and he's getting really freaked out, and they're trying to figure everything out in the way. But they realize Meg is one of the connections they need to like draw like the monster house outside, because it's like a very important thing to get, so Amy can come out and they can get all the focus in there. And then it leads to a very cool thing that's coming up. I'm really enjoying that a lot. So they are controlling now, like these Teletubby stomach people are controlling the VCR ghost. It looks like it might be connected to Meg, but they're not really like confirming anything about it. So Meg's like, okay, let's get that house the out of here. I'll take you to the house right now. So she points them in the direction. And inside the house, Amy's freaking out like, okay, so there's people that are going to come to destroy us. We got to destroy them first because I understand the pain you are all going through. So if we combine all our might, we might be able to like Voltron the shit out of this house. So that's what they do. Like the ghost team up with Amy. She becomes a literal monster house. So the VCR ghost, kind of being controlled in conjunction to Meg, is now fighting a giant house. The house literally comes to life this time, and we get a bash 'em up for the ages, where we just get a couple of pages of the VCR ghost just morphing into a bunch of different things, fighting the house ghost, and they're just bashing their way through the city, destroying stuff, knocking down buildings, knocking down streets. We see some bystanders just freaking out at what they're seeing. It looks cool. I really like the way this looked. I've been hesitant on the art sometimes, where I'm like, you can see where it's rushed. Sometimes just like the easy aesthetic that comes with like the VCR. It's like, okay, I see, like that's easy to draw. Well, maybe not easy to draw because I sure as hell couldn't do it. But it's just simpler in the design than what we've seen before. But everything picks up in this issue pretty well. Everything works good when it comes to the artwork in this book. It looks cleaner and more dynamic than some of the stuff we saw previously, so I like that angle of it. I think that's very cool. And the fight seems to be going okay, and then Amy notices that Meg's alive, so she like loses her guard, giving everybody a chance to leave. And you see like the switch up happening where Rip's like, what are you doing, Amy? Like, this is all you? This is crazy. You're hurting people. Everything everybody said about you, they're right. You are crazy. And she kind of breaks down a little bit, and she stops fighting, giving everybody else a chance to escape. But her and Buzz are left there, and they just see that like the monster house just kind of breaks down. All the ghosts go free, so they're not kind of like free in the world. All these different ghosts that were inside the house. And it's pretty cool. And both of like the VCR ghost and the monster ghost just kind of like fight each other till they're both dragged into the ocean, destroying an entire like what would you say, like an amusement park on the. It's very Santa Monica. Is it Santa Monica? They're in some California area, I do believe. So it could be Santa Monica that they destroyed. And you're like, that is very cool. So it looks like that Rip and Meg are kind of still with the Teletubby people. And I don't believe they actually showed like the actual name for the Teletubby people, which is weird to say, but it's very cool. And now we're kind of in this situation. So the house is gone. The house has been dragged into the lake, well, the ocean actually, by the VCR monster. Buzz and Amy are a team, and it looks like Meg and Rip are another team. And then we kind of jump into the future. It's not too long in the future, just a few months. But we see that like everybody's kind of like in Nevada now. They don't really explain it, and we see that this new pilot's coming over to like want to just like pretty much it's like an Area 51 base to pilot some new thing, and she calls herself the nuclear bastard, and we see that it's Meg wearing like this really cool red uniform. It kind of looks skeletal in a way, very different than what we've seen Amy wearing when she was controlling the thing, and it looks like they are like making a different ship for her to pilot that's like a walking ghost powered weapon. And it's like, okay, so we're going to use a ghost to fight ghosts. That's always going to work out great. And I'm just like, that's a cool way to end this arc. I wasn't expecting it to go down this rabbit hole. I thought we were just going to do like the Monster House cool horror stuff. But now we're setting up like this idea of, you know, we're actually going to have like some pilots basically operating big Gundam suits, fighting each other in ghost form. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty fun. It's a good book. You know, it started off kind of soft to me, and it kind of like just went some directions that were cool, some that weren't, but now I'm like, I'm on board for this. I'd like to see where this goes. Very fun stuff. The artwork is very consistent. I love the colors. I love the line work when it comes to everything this book does. It looks unique. It looks different. I enjoy that aspect of it a lot. I think the story it's setting up is very cool. It's a very satisfying book, and I like the characters to the point where I can continue reading about them and enjoying them. I also like the designs for the ghosts are a little more unique than what you've seen in previous incarnations of ghosts. They're very specific to what happened, you know, like a VCR, like a person with a lamp head, the kid with like the Voltron mask. It's very cool stuff. I really enjoy that side of things, and it's it's a consistent book. It's consistently good. It's not super great every time, but I do think it's a fun read, and there's definitely going to be an audience for this kind of thing, and I definitely believe people are going to enjoy what this is. So this is the final issue of the first arc. You will be able to collect the volume 1, I think they call it Teenage Haunts, come May, and then the next month we are going to be seeing issue 6 returning with a new arc, and I'm very excited for that new arc. This book, very cool, very fun. So, Homesick Pilots issue number 5, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.